What's going on, YouTube? National recap. And wow! What a national! Flew right by. My memory is always terrible, but I'm going to do my best to get what I did at the national. My national was a whirlwind from the get-go. Had to drive to Green Bay. Scotty, Nathan, Scotty Tradition, YouTube Hall of Famer, drove the rest of the way. And we're there in no time. It's great. Got in the hotel. Had to switch rooms right away. But so we're going into, I'd say we got there about 1:30, and we go into the show for 4 o'clock. We get in the show. Scott took off because he had the VIP badge. I only had, the first 2 days I only had general admission tickets. So I waited till right at 4 o'clock just to walk down there. Wasn't too terrible. I didn't think. Maybe got inside the show about 20 after 4. And where the escalators brought you down into the show was this whole new area. So I beelined it to where I know RBI Crew 7 was, just to set up base camp and say hellos. I really even wasn't looking. But on the ride to Chicago, I've got a few texts of what was going on in the show. A few messages already from PDAZ, Paul. And I was like, ooh, intrigued, especially in one card. And so I went over to RBI Crew 7. There's Paul, right there. So I said my hellos, got a free t-shirt from RBI Crew 7, and then took off because PDAZ had sent me that message, and we're off and running. I really didn't know what to expect. Well, it ends up being the picture that I really was intrigued with was a friend of mine, Nate Burns from Grand Slam Collectibles, had it in his showcase. So I went over there, made a fast purchase within minutes of getting to the show. And I'm going to take it out of here. In fact, I'll take it out of the mag for everybody. Let's see, let's get the information right. From Fabric of the Game from 2007, Leaf Certified. Game Worn Prime Jersey. Bart Starr. Oops, way over here. It's like I'm a noob. Bart Starr Auto Patch. Beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it's really nice looking. There's, of course it's not perfect, but this is 5 out of 5. So a low numbered patch auto right in seconds. So we're leaving the showcase. Nate gave me a hell of a deal. And I knew last time around in Atlantic City, he had bought and purchased the 2011 Topps Super Bowl MVP auto set. And in that auto set is 2 Bart Starrs that I have. And he had them in the showcase. He had a bunch of those cards in the showcase. And I'm like, oh, Nate, are you splitting this up? And he said, yes. I said, well, man, maybe you don't have it anymore, but I would like it. Is the Desmond Howard from Super Bowl 31 MVP. It's one of I think the best card of Desmond Howard, my opinion, out there. And he says, well, I don't have all of them out here. I have some in a box. He went and grabbed it, looked over it. Last one he found. Looks like he had sold quite a few from the set. but this one was still there. And if you know anything about this, I've been searching for this since almost release, and I've only seen 3. And I lost out on one probably about 3 or 4 months ago. Maybe a little less than that. But he gave another great price to me. Very happy, spent $200 on that. And with a bold autograph. But one of the 3 that I've seen had a faded autograph. So, already on fire. These just don't show up. But it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. So, already 600, 800 total seconds into the show. Mind you that I brought $2,000 thinking that was plenty. So, walked around with P-Daz for a little bit. He took off and started doing his own thing. And I can't remember who I ran into at that moment. Just after P-Daz left. He might have been there still, but I don't think so. But I was sitting there talking to a few guys. Right in 2 years ago it was the red carpet district. This year it was green. So this is like what I remembered from the show as being the main part of the show. The other parts I was gonna pick at later on, and it took almost the whole week for me to get through the whole darn thing. Usually it's like 2 or 3 days at most. I still was finding stuff on Sunday. So Brad Smith walks up, and I'm excited. Brad Smith, one of my favorite dudes. And he says, well, I was just about to send you a picture. Did you see the triple over there? I'm like, what triple? No, I have barely looked. I've been here minutes. It's less than an hour. And he says, well, I just took a picture. I was just about to send it to you. But you're right here. He says, well, he showed me the picture that he had taken. And I'm like, take me there right now. First of all, I had the price tag on it. And I'm like, no, this is not real life. This seems like a fabrication, like a dream. And I see the card. Unbelievable. And I am motoring. I'm like, well, the price tag said $1,500. Brad says you probably can get it for $13. I'm like, this card is mine. So I started negotiating. He wouldn't take any trades. He wouldn't take PayPal. Because I was like, whew, we'll see. So I'm like, well, I don't have the total amount that he's asking for. I got it down to $1,200. I says, well, I got to go hit the ATM real quick. I says, that card, just put it aside. And Brad says, I was like $100 short. I was going to have to get some money some way, somehow, which I'll get into a different story. But, so Brad loaned me $100 real quick. And this card right in my hand that I'm going to show you in a second for $1,200, just what could it be, right? And I know this card is sold for significantly more in the past. I know where 2 of the copies are, and I'm just like, this can't be real. This has to be mispriced. It has to be, because you're thinking that they put it in the showcase, they're going to make money off somebody, right? So this sold to them for pennies, I would say. I don't know. I'm still in shock. The story, one of the favorite stories of the National of all time, It's from 2012, 2013. National Treasures, numbered 5 of 5. Bart Starr, Brett Favre, and Aaron Rodgers. Prime trios. All on sticker. Beautiful card. It has a little rough parts in the back, so I was considering grading it, but I was like, nah, we'll just. That's 5 out of 5. Insane triple. Past they've been. I've even heard of one selling for 5,000 before. No joke. No joke. I'm gonna put it in a different mag because I want to brand fresh new mag at 100 point. So I'm on cloud 9. Well, I'm like I have no cash, and I'm literally just I'm probably talking faster than I usually talk, which is really fast, and perfect. And I was talking to Scotty Tradition, and just to put it in a reference, he is more of a vintage, but he does modern stuff too. It was the kind of deal that even if he would have saw it, he would have bought it in a heartbeat. So there it is. I have now 3 triples. I have a 6-way and 2 different triples now. Look at that. What a great story. Oh, my national was like a fast paced right off the get-go. So I had my Alexander Ovechkin, and I says, well, it's time to trade, or time to sell. And Brad says, well, let's take you to a booth. It looks like a lot of hockey. They offered me $850 for it. I brought an RBI Crew 7. He offered me $900 cash. Good enough. Good to go. We're cooking. So already recouping funds for a card I bought the Ovechkin a couple of years ago for $275. Here we go. Already happier than heck. So that was my first, the first Wednesday is only 4 hours long, and that was less than an hour, maybe an hour and a half total. What I did all that. Just wasn't hard. We just great. So we got over there by RBI Crew 7. I was selling the Ovechkin, and I just did it, and I see Steve, Dave, Vinny. I see Marcus Lambeau fan, Dave Archer, Steve Bronco 79, Vinny from the IRP podcast, which I'm on occasionally. And I'm just seeing all the people just chatting it up. Great times, good stuff. Saying how Dave Klimicki walked up. I love him. That's Dave midlife card crisis. Can't talk, which is whatever. But we're just chatting up, and Pete has walked up a little bit, and he's like, whoa, and I'm telling the story. I'm having a good time. Scott Nathan walked over. I'm telling him the story, and it's just, wow. So whirlwind, and then I kind of just floated on the rest of the couple hours. I didn't really walk around with too many people. Just kind of got my bearings on the new areas that were open, because it's probably almost twice as big now. They open up a whole 2 different sections. Went and said hello to Jason Gillespie and John Summers real quick, and then before you know it, me and all right, seen Josh Reynolds too, but we me, Josh Reynolds, and Scott Nathan and Josh's son went out to dinner at Deep Dish Pizza Place. Woo! And Loved it. Loved it. Good stuff. We sat, talked, had a good time. But we are exhausted already. It's hot. It really hasn't really started warming up, but it really wasn't. It was really warm in the show first couple of days. So we get back, and while Wednesday night is kind of, we got out at 8, our reservation at 8:45. We really didn't get back until 11 or so. And then we just crashed because we were, so not a really long ride, but all that sensory overload, you're just already. So Thursday hits, and I forgot to say something. When that triple was purchased, me and Brad were walking around a little bit, and I'm giddy. We went right around the corner from that area, and a guy hears us talking about the triple, and I should show it again because I love it. So a guy talks about, and he hears it, and he says that was one of he had a list of cards that he was looking to pick up at the National, and this was a card that he was looking for. And went over and looked at his cards, and the guy is someone I messaged a few times here and there. His Cards and Sneaks on Instagram has a wonderful collection, had some really nice stuff that I wouldn't mind having, but I'm like, I really don't want to trade down. This card is in the very wrong hands for you. He basically missed it by about 15 minutes. And he offered me twice of what I paid for it right then and there. I'm like, no. I'm very nice. No, I took it as a compliment that I picked up something that was very quality and that someone else would love it. So he showed me some stuff, and nice guy, but it's just very wrong hands to get in. So he was kind of frazzled and up. He was happy for me because he knows that was something that I would love. But he's like, oh, it was like number 2 or 3 on his list to look for. So, anyways, Wednesday night's over. Thursday running in. This video is gonna be long, just to let you know. Well, maybe not as long as you think. But Thursday, I was gonna meet up. Actually, we didn't have solid plans, but one of the nights we were gonna meet, and that's why I brought my whole collection of Star stuff, because this is another Star collector, and I've been trying to get this one certain card from him for a long, long time. And he was willing to move it for the right thing. So I had a couple Bart Star dupes. Those were on the table. Threw in a couple little more cards. Got these next 2 cards. I don't know which one to show first because they're just... Ooh. This one on the rarity scale, if you're a Packer collector or a Hall of Fame collector, this is right up there. And I don't know how many are floating around, but it's not many because I've only seen maybe one, and this is the one. He threw this out, and I'm like, we're going to trade. I'm like, how much you have in that? He says 4. I'm like, does he mean 4,000 or 400? Because 4,000, I understand. That's a bit hefty, but holy man, it's a great card. Or 400. He's like, 400 trade. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, this is gonna be I am interested in this. So, his name is Bill, and I talked with him, messaged him for over the years, quite a few different times. But this first card, number 2 out of 10 from what year? 2008 Upper Deck football. Iconic cuts of Mike Malchalski, Hall of Famer, Ring of Honor person. Incredibly hard to find in card form. Just not going to happen. Not the most eye-appealing cut, but as far as rarity goes, it's right up there. I don't even have a Cal Hubbard or an Arnie Herbert. This was harder to find than those 2. Guaranteed. I've seen those. Never seen one. So that wasn't even on my radar, but when it was, I'm getting a different mag for it because I'm just that way. It wasn't even on my radar, but when I saw it, I'm like, this is something, if he has it, the 400 range, I am going to make a deal with that one. Just like the Desmond Hammer would have been on my range, but I just didn't know it was available, you know. So I'm there for star stuff, and this is like icing on the cake, really. Finding cards like the Michalski and the Desmond Howard. So, congratulations. I found Oh My God card. Like, all the stuff that I got right now, I'm going to have to put the case on. I'm going to have to take stuff out of the case. And I don't know what I'm going to take out because it's just heartbreaking to take anything out. I'm going to need some more cases. So the other part of the trade was this bad boy. And never seen anything like it. Well, he showed me it years ago. But I've never seen anything like it. I had to have it. And from, I think it's 2009? Yes, 2009. Absolute Tools of the Trade. Bart Starr autograph. Prime jersey, one color, but that's not what it's about. That part right there is prime pants. I have a version of this card. It's a patch card. I think it's out of 5 also. Maybe out of 10. I'd have to look. Never seen a prime pants piece from Bart Starr ever. And it's gorgeous. Look at the shine. It's just beautiful. And this one is 404. So we're talking, I got some low number stuff. Me and the Michalski itself is out of 10. That's the biggest number I got. So that's amazing. I'll put it. It probably needs a new mag too. Yeah. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I scratched any kind of little on a mag. I just can't use it. I just bundle them up and sell them. So we'll get, I think that's going to be this thickness here. So no money into that other than what I paid for the original cards. I paid a little. The trade was in his favor, and he says the next trade we do, it'll be in your favor. I mean, it wasn't a terrible amount. He rated this card higher in trade than I was expecting, but that's okay. We worked it out. So, believe it or not, that's my cards. That's the cards from the show. Then Thursday night was the YouTube get together, and I had a fantastic time sitting down with some of my favorite people, seeing Garrett, seeing everybody that was anybody. Andy, she blinded me with refractors. I seen the IRP guys. Had spent a long time talking with Snoop. What a great conversation was. Dave Klemicki, one of my favorite guys on the planet. So it was a whirlwind of just action there. There was pizza there that night. So pizza again. So whatever. Just one of the best times I had in a while. And I was looking at a vintage collection that was out of this world. Just yucking it up with some people, and it was fantastic. And the night was a blur, and that was a late night. We went and they finally kicked us out of there. I don't think we got back until, 12:31 ish, and zonked. So in all these days, I'm having breakfast every morning around 7:30 with Brad. He's in the same hotel we are in, having a good time. I finally got my early badge that I purchased for $90 from someone from Facebook, because they were leaving early, and so the last 3 days I got the early entry badge, and I'm just kind of cruising around. I found some stuff, just not stuff that it was just overpriced. And the one thing I did find was and I wanted it, and the price wasn't right. Was the Reggie White Prime Signatures Base 101. So it's the Prime Signatures, like his autograph Prime Signatures, but just a base card with no autograph, platinum. It's $500. I'm like, oh, that was one thing I really wanted. And by the way, I'm taking pictures for a couple different friends of mine. Luke Council couldn't be there, and Michael Phillips that couldn't be there. I wish I could have found something that Luke wanted, but I didn't. But I did end up finding something for Michael Phillips, and I'm going to get it his way very soon here. So watch he gets to be at the National as long as I'm at the National. And I found something that was, if he didn't buy it, I probably was going to buy it. But I knew how much he'd love it. And I love it just the same. So I'm glad that he can have it. Now, I got a box break I did. I bought 2013 Select, kind of got sandoed in that. And you can look at that on Brad's channel. I'm sure he's going to have it up at some point. Got a redemption, which is terrible. Whatever. Not the greatest box, but I was treating myself. So I paid $400 for that box. Yeah, prices of 2013 Select. I'm like, oh, I love that stuff. I wanted to find a gold of anybody really out of there, but didn't get a gold. But so that was fun. I got a free box from Wildcard. I won. One of the autographs in there was Trevor Lawrence out of 5-ish. 5, yeah, I think so. So I did well in that, just kind of walked around, spent some time talking with everybody that I ran into. When I get overwhelmed, I go on my lone wolf for a while, and it's like Friday was one of those days just so I could just go and showcase it, and whoever I ran into, and I took breaks. I even came back. I came back at 2:00 from Friday, took a nap just kind of lounged for a half hour, and then took a nap for an hour. Went back at 4 and showing it at 6, and then I just had Friday was my day by myself, which is fine. I had dinner at the Doubletree restaurant, and that was fantastic. Went up and seen Brad, opened my box break, and you'll see all that. Hung out with Brad, and then we went to the Lowe's on Friday, right? Was it Friday? Yes, Friday. We were toasted by this time. So we hung out for about an hour and a half. It was really on the verge of raining really hard. I talked to Ed there some, and Dave, like I said, Dave Klimicki, one of my favorite dudes. Scott came in from his dinner, and he showed up. Got to talk to who I missed. I didn't see Mike Canadian Cards at all. I didn't get to sit down with him like I would love to have. Met some new people. And like I said, I'm horrible with names, but what they did was, I'm like, here, sub to my channel, and I'll get the notification that you subbed, and I'll get back to them. I'm like, that's what it was. And I did that for a few things. Me and Brett took a look around because there was a card show going on there. That was crazy. Mike O, I used to catch it like the end of the day, like every time, whatever it was. So I got to talk to Mike O for a little bit there. And just, yeah, so we were zapped. We got out of there. Me and Brad didn't get in the picture. We were just done. So we just walked back before it started pouring. And it just rained real hard. And then I was done. Gone. I think I went to bed midnight-ish, and I was zapped. So Saturday rolls around. I went to breakfast, came back, and slept for another hour and a half. So Brad was like, I don't feel like breakfast this morning. He told me, he's like, I'm going to not do breakfast. I'm like, okay, I'll do my own breakfast. And I came back up and Scott was still sleeping, and then I just went right back to sleep. Saturday just kind of, it felt a little better in there. As far as temperature wise, and we were gone after that. I did just that day was kind of a blur. I did walk around, and found, I think that's the day I found the Michael Phillips card. Boy, and they're just, I think that was a Brad day. I think me and Brad were around for a while and we did stuff. And then he got lost, and we got Scott Nathan for a while, which is my roommate, which is great. We did some stuff. Then I think I went back and took a break even then that day. And I think we got out of there early, and we decided to go, me, Brad, and Scott decided to go to the barbecue place, and we sat and had a great conversation there. Some good eats. And we just called it an early day. As far as the show goes, we were just exhausted still. Sunday rolls around, and the show is so wide open now. It's me. A lot of people have already taken off. It's just me and Scott, and we met some Level Leap guys, Dave Kish. And it was just, you could move, and the weather was a lot cooler. You could move around in there. We found some stuff. We pondered some stuff. We went through and actually got to see the cases, the showcases, really easy. We kind of gridded it out, me and Scott, and we found some interesting stuff. Took some more photos, and then about 1 o'clock, we took off. That was it. Got our stuff in the car and motored home. When I got to his house, it takes me an hour to get home or so. Took my time and got home, and here I am. I went to work today, which I shouldn't have, but it put a new perspective. It hit the reset button. Here we are. Go. I do the work all the time, but I got a week just away from it. I wasn't too terrible today at all. I was on the go, but I was working my butt off. I had a lot of stuff to do today. But yeah, it puts everything in perspective. Like, how you might not like your job all the time, but it gives me everything I want, including allowing me to do this kind of stuff. So I don't hate it. And I wanted to show, Dave Archer gave me some stuff that we talked about. This Malcolm Brogdon select jersey. But we talked about a card, but then he, instead of like just giving we're going to make a deal on a card, he went and upgraded the card that I was wanting from him, numbered 8 out of 10. A Malcolm Brogdon, who's not on the team anymore, but he knows how much I loved him for the Bucks. So that's amazing stuff, and that'll eventually get magged up because I'm taking too long here. Broncos, Bronco 79 Steve gave me this nice little thoughtful Green Bay Packer stuff. There's some vintage stuff in here. And just some Johnny Blood McNally. It's always what I cut out of what I'm looking for right there. This Kabir Bajabia from Upper Deck. Oh, I love that stuff. Aaron Rodgers Touchdown Club. Aaron Rodgers doing his pose, Rookies and Stars. Just some fantastic insert stuff here. Another one from that Upper Deck. Brett Favre. What is this? Mosaic. And one of the bigger cards that I was like color match Aaron Jones from Mosaic. That's nice. Yeah, guys didn't have to do that. That's not something that you had to do, but I'm glad you thought of me. I looked for Terrell Davis stuff. I didn't find it. I really looked hard to find stuff like that, but I didn't want to forget them. Saw Stowe for like 5 seconds. those, yeah. I I don't have the forethought of like what they did of like getting everybody they met to write down on index cards, and I'm sorry if I forgot, yeah, but holy man, um it's so much information all at once that you just can't retain it all. I can't retain whole lot of things, even if it's just my daily life. I'm very forgetful. Um, but anyways, I won't hold you any longer. What a national! Oh my God! I mean, the deals that I got, think were out of this world. That triple is just the story of one of my favorite stories that I'll ever have at a national. Um, you know, to put it, before I let you go, to put it in perspective, the Spectra Hall of Fame set, and there's the Jim Brown is right over here. Right next to that triple was the Jim Brown Spectra Hall of Fame card. Thank God I already own it. They had the same price tags, $1,500 on the Jim Brown Spectra Hall of Fame card out of 50, and that triple, Star, Favre, Rogers, out of 5 from NT. Think about that. Blows my mind. But anyways, thank you for watching. I love all you guys. And I know it's a long-winded video, but my life is just a scrambled mess when it's just up here. It's hard for me to remember everything. But all I know is that my experience put me on cloud 9, and I'll be on cloud 9 forever. Cards, they were a part of it. But everything else going on was something I wish we all could do more often as a community, is get together. But when we do, it's like friends from high school. So, love you guys. Take care. And we'll see you next time. Whew. That was an experience. You have to go if you haven't gone. See ya.